All right. Hey everyone, it's McFeeds here with another PDL podcast episode. This time I wanted to bring on some new people to the league so we can hear from some new voices. It's not just the old heads yapping 24/7. So we're gonna do a little bit of a meet the new people and do a bit of mid-season review. So with me I have Fortress
Hey,
and Noah. So to get started, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? You guys just want to talk about how much Pokemon experience you have?
Fortress, please
yeah,
go ahead.
I can go first. I obviously have been playing Pokemon since Sapphire Ruby, I believe, was the first games I had. Played a lot of that, and then I didn't get into competitive until college. A few oh god, 8 years ago, Jesus Christ. But I was mostly playing singles during that. So I was playing in Gen 5 Weather Wars over in OU back in the day.
Oh God.
And then dude, that shit was fire. But I hadn't really done draft leagues or VGC before. But then I saw this got pinged, and I was like, you know what? I have a friend that's really into VGC. Let's try to uh take my hand at that and see how much of the singles experience transfers over to doubles.
So you haven't played VGC at all?
No, I've not. I've never played any doubles before, so it's
Oh,
been a big learn.
that's
It's been a lot.
crazy.
It's been a lot of learning curve.
Yeah.
So,
All
but
right.
it's been really been fun. I've been enjoying it.
Good. What about you?
Yeah, I started Pokemon whenever I was in middle school for Diamond and Pearl. I played it like to and from school like every day on the bus. Shit was so much fun. Also, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear,
No,
but
you're
uh,
good.
just tell me if I go too crazy. Um, but I'm just kind of a content watcher. I picked up Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was my most recent game after Gen 4. I didn't play 5 or 6 at all, or Gen 7 proper. And started watching VGC content. This is when I felt like Wolf was like getting back into prominence then. This is like 2019, right around pre-COVID. Um, it was pretty cool, pretty interesting. I watched a lot. I tried to play a little bit on Showdown. I was not very good. And then I've just kind of slowly kept up with content ever since. This is the first like league or like competitive Pokemon I've ever played of any kind. But I'm just kind of a VGC frog. Watch
Nice.
Cybertron, watch Wolf, a little bit of James Bake.
How'd you find out about the league? Just through
Oh, I
taking
same
Titan?
way Fortress did. Just got pinged randomly. I was unfortunately choking Titan Immortal playoffs and needed a way to distract. So yeah, ended up here.
So I'm assuming you guys are both league players since you were in Titan to start with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of overlap with the amateur Emerald community because that's how this all got started. Like
I actually just scrimmed versus Cocoa Puffs
yeah,
Tuesday, I think yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, I saw the screenshots. I saw you guys cook them.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, it was.
if I
Oh,
lose
not no
500
comment.
LP, I'll come visit you guys.
Yeah. No, this league got started because I ended up as a sub on Easton's roster, like right when Scarlet and Violet came out, and we were talking about the new games, and he was in a singles league. I was like, well, I want to play in a draft league. He goes, oh, I don't want to do another singles one, and so that's how we started.
Single sucks.
Uh, eh, I'm a big Gen 3 OU guy. I love that format. I respect Gen 5 OU. It's fun from time to
Dude, that
time.
dude, that shit sucked, man. I tried playing that for a while, and then I was just like, let me just go to RU and play with my choice banded Tauros and have a good time.
Nice. So getting into this season, like coming into the season, what were your guys' expectations? Like you have a little bit of Pokemon experience, some VGC experience. First time for both you in a league, I think. So what were your guys' expectations coming in?
Uh, my goal was just to win a game. I wanted to win one series, and then I'd be like, you know what, this was a good warm up with no
That's fair.
VGC experience, and then maybe next time we can try to do a little bit better. So we've done that so far. We got that week 2 out of the way. So we are mission accomplished.
Yeah, I came in wanting to get to playoffs, right? Like, I mean, I felt like that would be a totally reasonable ask. Um, I didn't know. I mean, I knew what Pokemon were going to be available. I didn't know what other people were going to prioritize. I don't know what's good at a format like this. Like, generally, I haven't run a draft league before, so like building a balanced team is a lot easier whenever you don't have people taking Pokemon away from you. So I had to do a lot of free agency moves to fix some of the mistakes I made on draft night, but um, yeah, that's kind of it. Just expected or hoped for playoffs, but now I think playoffs is expected and hopeful for
I was gonna say
more.
you're 3-0 now, right?
Yeah, I honestly thought you guys would be better. I don't know.
Real.
Yeah, I have some takes on that when we get to the group side. But yeah, I think at 3-0, as long as you win one more game out of the next four, you're locked for playoffs.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, there could be some weird tomfoolery if there's like a five-way tie, four and
We
three,
we've
but
had some we've had some weird stuff happen before.
I think 4 wins should be good enough. Then
My
I can run my funny sets.
my personal favorite was we had a tie last season where the guy who lost the head-to-head match in the final week of the season still made playoffs on a tiebreaker because he had a better KD overall because they were tied on every other metric. It was like
Yeah,
a
I've
it was
seen
like a
some.
three-way tie situation where there was a nobody gets the head-to-head, and so then it goes to the other metrics where they were all still tied.
Yeah, the league tiebreakers are always weird like that. I actually had that happen in a League of Legends league. I think it was Titan Vanquisher actually, where a team that had the head-to-head over us did not make it through, and they were very upsetty about it.
Um,
Their game score wasn't good enough.
how do you guys feel about the through the generations format overall? Like me personally, I think it's the best draft format we've had as far as like interest in drafting. I'm still not entirely sold on like actual like week to week gameplay though.
I was really interested in the gimmick. It made drafting really interesting. Obviously, I haven't done drafting in VGC, ever before, but I can kind of tell it's like, okay, towards the end, I was looking like, okay, do I take Sceptile or Roserade in the end of the draft? And it's like, I don't think it's happening without that gimmick going on. And I don't know. I think it's led to a lot more interesting teams and mons being played that aren't being played all the time. Like I wouldn't do it every single time, but as a nice like change of pace, it feels like really cool.
Yeah, I think it's made a lot of like really interesting draft pain points with like, do I use my second or third pick on this Gen 6 Pokemon that's like pretty mid overall compared to some of the stuff that's up, but is, head and shoulders the best Pokemon available in Gen 6? And so it's kind of cool to see how that kind of stuff played out. People taking like really early Murkrows, really early like Talonflames and Sylveons.
I every draft format, thinking about it, is like it's got to create some way to artificially put bad Pokemon on your team, like whether that's through points or through draft tiers or through the generations. I think that this format left a lot more opportunity to mess up though. Like I think this draft, I haven't played a draft before, as I said previously, but just theoretically looking at it, I feel like there were a lot more ways to make mistakes in this draft format than in the previous one because you just don't know what's going to be up for a generation, right? Because generations are so much more narrow than like a traditional draft tier would be, I feel.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so, me at pick 3, right? Whenever there's like 30 picks between me and my initial pick and then my second pick, absolutely no clue what's going to make it back to me. So it felt like there was definitely a lot more opportunity to make errors than I was expecting coming into it.
I mean, yeah, the pool got pinched, and then it's hard sometimes where you're like 6 or 7 picks in, and in my case, I needed a ghost resist, and then end up having to pick freaking Stantler because there were no my options were like Stantler, Umbreon, Houndoom, Mighty Ina. Like I had horrible options left. It was just Gen 2,
Yeah.
Gen 3 Pokemon.
Hmm.
I think also you run into like just looking. So I've looked at his team before and gotten sick, but Cocoa Puff's getting Fluttermane Urshifu
Yep.
with priority Tailwind, like Fake Out and Follow Me support, and a random Shedinja. Like I don't know who was drafting on Sunday, but I'm ashamed of all of you. And what in the hell?
No, there was some crazy stuff on Sunday. Like I thought Chien Pal making it to what 10th pick on our draft was bad. Sunday was illegal. Like it
Yeah.
was like a fourth round pick Talonflame in this format. Like
Jesus. I didn't even watch the Johto one, but that's apparently the Cupcake
Yeah,
Conference is what it is.
Look at Cocoa Puff's team. Do you have the doc open?
Yeah, I have
uh
it up. I'll take a look.
It's sickening. It's sickening.
yeah
If he
he
doesn't win, he should feel bad.
I mean he already has more losses this season than he had in the last one. So
That's tough.
yeah, he had a 7-0 season last split. I think he 2-0'd everybody except Kaora in his division, and then he got bounced in semifinals, I think, by none
Damn.
other than Big Tony 2014. Just going back to your guys' expectations, did your we'll talk about draft details in particular, but kind of like a big picture. After you guys like had your draft or had your group draw, did those expectations change at all? Were you like, oh, I got what I really wanted. I really think I can make playoffs, or I got what I wanted. I'm definitely getting a win. Stuff like that.
Um, so we'll talk more about it in drafts, but my entire draft plan got like overturned, like not overturned, but like thrown into whack like really really fast. Based on like the position where I was drafting. So I ended up with that like weird team that had like the four really really good Pokemon, and then like nothing else really, no like good supporting parts. But it was kind of like, well, you know, with Iron Hands and Sinroar, Ursaluna, Porygon 2, there's probably a win somewhere.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna luck into something at some point, even if you only take those four every single time. So that's it. Maybe it like increased a little bit, but it made me a lot more confident that I would get a win, even though
yeah, makes
the week
sense.
one I got completely railed. It was not good.
One last thing before we go into like draft specifics, and it's literally just because your logo's on this slide.
Yeah.
I need to know, is that a driving crooner reference on the
It might be.
Clodsire?
It it very well might be. I wondered if putting him in a car would make it too not subtle.
So
So I just left it.
I could not even tell you what show that is from, but I went to a Halloween party where someone was dressed as it, had a fake car door and everything. And it
Dude,
was
it's I
my
think you should leave, and it's
yeah,
very, very good. You should watch. There are better skits than Driving Crooner.
I was gonna say it's the only skit I've seen from the show because he pulled it up when I asked who he was. The best part about this is like 2 weeks later, I saw him, couldn't remember his name, and just went up to him and went like, "Oh my God, you're the driving crooner guy. Sorry, like I can't remember your name from the Halloween party." And goes, "Great, let's keep it that way. I'll just be the driving crooner guy." All right,
No, no, you're too close. It doesn't look right when you get too close.
so getting into drafts. I was not the biggest fan of this originally, and it was mainly just because you did not have the Ninetales.
Yeah, no, there was a he won't pick Torkoal called in the draft room. And then he picked Torkoal, and so we had to pivot.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean
but I mean,
you've got like crazy good hitters with Landorus, Fluttermane, Walking Wake as your like main core.
yeah, I mean, I think that Fluttermane being such a heinous Pokemon really patches up a lot of the holes that I have. It can do so many different things, and I've brought a completely different Fluttermane set every week, so just really being able to tailor that Pokemon to exactly what I want in the matchup is like, I mean, that's exactly what you want out of your first pick, right? You're probably
Yeah.
bringing it every week and probably centering your strategy around it. Something that initially on draft night, I was super stressed and looking at my type chart, lots of red, lots of not green. Um, but the more I've played and the more I've practiced this format, the more I feel like these type charts are really, really fake in a Terra format. I think that I usually come into a week with 1 to 2 Pokemon who really take advantage of my type chart on the enemy team, and I'm able to work Terras around to make that, okay, if I can handle this Pokemon, I Terra this. If I need to deal with Y Pokemon, I Terra that, and it's really patched up a lot of those holes. Our entire team is kind of ice types aren't real. Um, but I played against Glastrier week 1 and it wasn't real, so
Yeah. I think something that also kind of helps with that is your like kind of hyper offense. Like not 100%. Like you have some bulk and some like slower pivot focused Pokemon or setup focused Pokemon. But, like your core of Walking Wake, Flutter Mane, and then even like Jumpluff supporting is so fast that it really doesn't matter what your defensive typing is. It matters more what your offensive typings are, and you've got like really good setup there. Like Fluttermane Ghost Fairy is an incredible stab combination to have to deal with, and like if there's a Poison Fire or Steel type that's going to get in front of that, like you have Landorus, you have Blaziken, you have Ninetales in the Sun to like help deal with all of those.
I think the biggest thing that's been impactful for me is every week somebody has to bring something dedicated for Sun, and I don't even have to bring it. Even
Oh,
even if I
absolutely
bring the
not.
Ninetales with me, I mean, I played week 3, and pretty much soloed with an Iron Defense Como, like an Iron Defense leftovers Como set. They just prepped for Sun. Had priority weather on Tornadus, um, and then Como set up in front of them. They had nothing, right? It's Terra Steel Como. It's just there's always I've found on my team one Pokemon that's really difficult for them to answer. Um, and sometimes there's multiple. Week 2, I was able to bring 2 like super fast choice itemed Pokemon. I brought Choice Specs Flutter and Choice Band Landorus. And both games that I played against Water, it caught him off guard. It dealt just way more damage. I mean, Choice Specs, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam from Fluttermane just one shots everything. Like
You
I
need
I
like an
think it's one shotting
Assaultus.
people. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, but um, yeah, I don't know. I've really grown to like my team a lot more than I did on draft night. I'm sure that there are people that feel similarly, but I've learned how to use the pieces I had, and I made some free agency choices that definitely helped as well.
Do you have anything on your team that's like, oh, this is my throwaway pick? Like I didn't know what to take in this gen. I just kind of took something random, or is everything have its place at this point?
I think I mean, it's everybody's answer, right? It's the Gen 6 Pokemon. It's the Gudra. I think that there's a place for Gudra. I've considered taking it more than 1 weeks. However, it's harder to find a place for. I don't think that what it wants to do is generally what my team wants to be doing. It's a bit of a lower speed tier. I would probably have to play. Basically, like if I'm ever bringing Gudra, I'd rather have Como or Walking Wake.
I mean, I
Um,
I think there's some sauce with like Landorus as a bulky physical wall to pivot, and Gudra as a bulky special wall to pivot.
yeah, and that's kind of where I considered it to be. And both times that I looked at that setup, I looked and saw that Fluttermane's special defense was
Just
15
better.
less
Yeah.
than Gudra's.
And then you don't have to have a Gudra, you have a Fluttermane.
Right. Um, and that's kind of what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
this Fluttermane Pokemon is not fair. Like you can play Trick Room, you can play Terra Fairy choice specs. You can
Yeah,
play other sets I'm not gonna bring or not gonna tell you guys about that I'm planning on bringing. But like, it does so much that um, it just enables. I can kind of bring like, s- you know, 6 of the same 7 or 8 Pokemon every week and never have to worry because Fluttermane will conform to them rather than the other way around.
yeah. I mean, you have a lot of flexible set Pokemon. Like Landorus can be multiple different sets. Walking Wake can, while it's usually the same set or similar set, can run multiple different items. Like you have Booster Energy, you can have Specs, you can have Life Orb, you can have like Focus Sash.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about my team is Landorus gets gravity and Ninetales gets hypnosis. So
Can't wait to see that.
yeah, we're considering once we're locked for playoffs, there might be a little cooking, but until then,
Got it. I'll look for it in I think week 7. So you'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
you'll
week
be
seven,
locked
week
by
seven.
then.
No, I mean everybody's talking about. I've got the super hard group and 5 out of 8 PDL championships, yada yada, and then I play both of you guys going into playoffs. So like I'm gonna be sipping martinis on the beach, like not even worried. Like 5-0, not showing any strats, bringing Gudra and fucking Blaziken. Like, have fun, man.
One last thing before we move on to the other draft. I really like the Thwacky. I think that Pokemon's super underrated. I'm a little surprised to see people not like picking up Torracat, but I guess it's harder to fit. But like we played low tier VGC where like basically any Pokemon that got more than 1% usage on the ladder was banned, and Thwacky was a menace in that format.
In DMs when he was considering the move, Noah was like spiraling, being like, "Dude, I need you to talk me out of taking Slacky because I'm really considering picking him up."
I DM'd him at 11:30 p.m. and said, "Hey, I am thinking of picking up Thwacky. I need you to talk me out of it." Because I mean, I'm doing the math right in my head. I'm like looking at I want better fake out support because the fake out support I had previously was Shiftry, which is not really fake out support. It also gobbles up Focus Sash. It can pretty much only hold Focus Sash. Um, and the like dark type stab is not really doing that much for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, am I really taking fucking Thwacky? Like that's the
I
ideology.
mean,
But
hey, there's a I almost just said Fluttermane. There's a Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Fini out there that Thwacky's your best answer to.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, terrain control is like a thing. I think that there are not many teams that are taking advantage of terrain control right now, or like their terrain. But I think it just fixed my balance options. I was like you were talking about my hyper offense. I was pretty much locked into hyper offense with the previous iteration of this team where I had Hisuian, Typhlosion, and Shiftry. I could pretty much only play one way. I could pretty much it was Tailwind hyper offense, whether that was setting up with Ninetales Jump Bluff or like a Scarf Landorus or something along those lines. But Thwacky really gave me an option. Like I can play setup on Komodo. I can uh I can contest priority Tailwind, things like that, where I was really having trouble in prep
Yeah.
without it.
uh, Fake out, taunt, knock off, and then priority Grassy Glide for breaking sashes or picking up like those last little bit of damage. Like it's a solid Pokemon.
Yeah, there was a calc that was run in preparation for my upcoming week. I don't mind talking about it because it will absolutely not happen. But in case you were wondering, Max Attack Adamant Choice Banded Thwacky Grassy Glide does in fact one hit KO Urshifu Water.
That's funny. That's really funny. All right, so moving on to our other draft for tonight. I, honestly, like I saw your first couple picks come in and, during the draft with like the Iron Hands and Cineroar, and then you getting Ursaluna on the free space wheel, and I was like, oh my god, this draft's insane.
Yeah.
And then there were some decisions to
Yep.
close out the draft that I'm a little confused by.
Yep. As you should be. There was bad reasoning for a lot of this because
Now
they have some.
there's
Go
still a
on.
lot of good. Like triple fake out is going to be disgusting into anybody. Like there can only be one covert cloak. Like
Does Conkeldurr get fake out? I feel like he might.
it's on
He
the
does
sheet.
not.
It's
Yeah.
Raichu,
Okay.
Iron Hands, and Incineroar.
Yeah, I knew those 3 all got it. I thought Conkeldurr might have gotten it too.
Nah,
Yeah, good slot though.
he's just bulky boy with 3 insane abilities.
hmm Yeah. So, yes, going back around to the draft a little bit, I actually had to pivot away from my original plan because my whole thing was that, okay, I'm kind of coming in at like a knowledge deficit to other people. I kind of want something that plays itself to a certain degree, or at least can play
Yeah.
itself. It has that option. So the idea was to go Rain, and I was drafting at that flip. I was number 12 in the order, or whatever number it is, where I had the 2 back-to-back picks. So I was like, yeah, 16. So I was like, okay, I think at the flip, I'm going to take Pelipper and a Rain Abuser. And then I have something that I can like easily build around the rest of the team, and there's going to be not that many room for fuck ups. I think I was thinking about like Pelipper and Archuleta or something like that. But then I didn't expect Incineroar and Iron Hands to be available at that point in the draft. Based on what I knew about VGC, I thought they'd be a higher priority.
Yeah, full disclosure, I spun a wheel between Incineroar, Iron Hands, and Tapu Koko, and ended up with Tapu Koko.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, wait a minute. If Incineroar and Iron Hands are both sitting there, I probably just have to take them, don't I? Like, instead of going with a rain strat, because you can kind of play Incineroar and Iron Hands with any sort of, if anything. Like, it's still flexible because the draft day was interesting because I'd make my 2 picks and then I would do nothing for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you get to go play a game of League, watch an episode of whatever, and then it comes back to you by the time it's done.
Yeah, but I was pivoting, but I had to spend all those 20 minutes trying to figure out like, okay, what the fuck am I doing now? And then Porygon 2 was up, and I was like, oh, I also get the first choice at the wild card Pokemon, so I can take Ursaluna, so I can lock in those 4 no matter what with no counterplay. And then I have a decent Trick Room team, so now I need to pivot away from the full rain strategy I'd like spent all my time prepping for to trying to make a Trick Room team on the fly, and it led to a few mistakes that weren't ideal. Like, I don't know what was going on in my head when I picked Sceptile over Milotic. I think it was literally just wanting a Fire, Water, Grass core for the sake of having it, which is just, I don't know.
The Milotic was originally drafted. That's why you couldn't.
Yeah, okay, that's right, yeah. But I thought about drafting it before it got drafted.
Oh, I would have been upset on draft night because I had the Milotic and then I ended up dropping it, and while I think it was like ultimately a side grade, because I dropped Milotic and Stantler for Suicune and Sableye. I sometimes, like, there are a couple matchups I've had where I've been like, ooh, I really wish I had Milotic over Suicune here.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, do I really want to have 2 water types on the same team of Clawitzer and Milotic? So I just had Brainworms that night. So thanks for dropping it, because I think picking up the Milotic like saved a lot.
Oh, it's really good anti-intimidate for Iron Hands. Like, it can just sit there and spam whatever it needs to.
It solo won one of my games, or it just sat there because the other guy could not kill it.
I mean, last season it was Chris's MVP. Everybody intimidated it. Everybody clicked Icy Wind into it. Everybody clicked Snarl into it. The thing would get like +3 every game and would just sweep.
Yep.
So I'm looking at your draft, by the way. Like, there's no way Clawitzer is the best thing you can be doing in Gen 5, right?
Oh, absolutely. Gen 6. Clawitzer is Gen 6, isn't it?
Oh,
Keldur's Gen 5.
It is. You're right. Okay, so
No,
never mind. It probably is.
My caveat is there's no way Rampardos is the best thing you can be doing in Gen 4.
Hey, no. Okay, you don't know. You're not in the Noah and Mai's prep room. This Rampardos is doing work.
You gotta
Alright,
trust the vision.
We did a doubles Little Cup season like 3 or 4 seasons ago, and we'll probably never run it again because I hated it. But my first pick was Cranidos, so I'm very familiar with the idea of Rampardos.
But this guy is just shredding people.
Like, I guess it's a big hitter in Trick Room, but you have so many of those. Like, you already have Iron Hands, Ursaluna, Conkeldurr. Like I think I personally would struggle to be like, okay, yep, I'm bringing Rampardos over one of those.
I mean, I've considered dropping it a few times. I know this is the last week of free agency. I'm probably making at least one move. I have like 3 guys I'm considering dropping and like replacements for them, but it's tricky with the generation
Yeah,
restriction. Like originally Gen 4, the consideration there was Bronzong for a secondary Trick Room setup, but the logic at the time was, oh, is there ever a world where I want to take Bronzong over Porygon 2? And then I was kind of like, not really. Like,
When does
not
this go
many.
live, by the way? Like, is it
I
go live like right after we're done, or do you have to edit it,
I have
or?
to edit it a little bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about what I think you should do, Fortress, and you have until this goes live to
I can
to
I can
act on it. Or...
I can wait
No,
if
leak
you
it. I
want me
don't care.
to.
No,
Okay.
go leak it. Go leak.
Okay,
Content.
yo, are you using this Conkeldurr? Like, I don't think you brought it in
No,
any
no,
of our
no,
prep
no, no,
matches.
no.
Dude, why don't
Um,
you just drop this thing for Cottony and get like a priority Tailwind
I don't
and
hate that.
that's not bad. I was
because
thinking.
then you have like Moltres Galar. I actually found this out yesterday. This thing gets fucking Dark Stab, Rock
Slide.
Slide,
Yeah, special rock slide.
Special Dark Stab, Rock Slide. Like what?
Mhm. I was.
Dude, you put that thing in
Man,
Tailwind at
you
you
were in
Moltres
a
Galar Rampardos double Rock Slide these guys? Like
you were in a Gen 8 VGC enjoyer. That thing was a menace. With Dynamax, you'd click Dynamax Airstream, get the speed boost. You'd have a Comfey beside it to click priority draining kiss into your old Moltres Galar to proc a weakness policy, and then you would just spam the dark move rock slide and sweep.
it's gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you just put like a Choice Scarf or honestly max speed Rampardos and Tailwind probably
Yeah.
outspeeds most things.
Oh yeah.
So like you just have those things rock sliding side by side. That sounds fair and balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
30% of the
Originally.
time it
Yeah.
flinches every time.
Well, is
Um.
it not 30? Like, does it not do both checks?
It does do both
Or
checks,
It
yeah.
does both.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gross. That's a 50% chance to flinch like every turn.
Okay. I might do that because originally we're posting a live. I'll leak what I was thinking. Obviously the biggest red flag on this entire thing is close combat just one shots my entire team no matter what.
Yeah,
Um,
you do not have any fighting resists.
it's not very good. So I was considering dropping Conkeldurr for a ghost type. I spent like an hour trying to like justify getting Kofgrigus on the team. Um,
Oh,
decided
Cocoa Puffs are not your #1 fan if you pick up Cofagrigus. That is
that was something I've considered. Like Jellicent was considered for a little bit. Um, I'll decide tonight what I'm doing, but like
Yeah,
This Conkeldurr is fucking worthless. I've never once thought like, oh man, I need this guy.
a lot of our prep games have started with like Porygon Ursaluna lead, and then it's just like, okay, well, I have a Pokemon with close combat. Which one of these are you tearing? You know,
yeah.
like one of these is Terra Ghosting, and the other one is dying. Let's find out.
Yeah, my qualms with your draft when I was doing the draft review was like the Rampardos, Clawitz, or Moltres Galar. I feel like could have been better picks during the actual draft. Like I can't put my finger on
Absolutely.
exactly what they should have been, but like those were the picks where I was like, all right, maybe something could be improved here. 'Cause everything else is solid.
Moltres Galar, I think, was the worst pick I made in the entire draft. Like, at least with Sceptile, there's justification. It was like a last pick. I took Moltres pretty early
Yeah, it was
with
like
no other idea other than that, like,
your fourth
That
pick, I
thing used to be
think.
good, or
I've played it in singles before and it was pretty good. So I was like, oh, I like that Pokemon. Let me pick it. And, like, it gives me, like, pivots out of Trick Room, but, like, it doesn't really because it doesn't do anything.
I mean,
Noivern is also available for Gen 6 for a fast Tailwind setter, by the way.
I think that's better than Cottony. It would be drop Clawitzer for Noivern.
You also don't have Dragon type stab, so
Yeah.
would help with that.
I'd look like Noivern and then maybe see if anything's available in Gen 8 that can abuse Tailwind better than Moltres. Because like WoW, whatever the hell its move is called, I'm blanking on it right now.
I know. Yeah.
Fiery Wrath.
Fiery Wrath, thank
Fire
you.
Wrath, yeah.
It's only based on one special attack. Like that doesn't really cut it in today's day and age.
We could do some nasty plot stuff, but yeah.
You
Not with
can.
Fluttermane existing.
Yeah, sad.
All right. So moving on to just kind of overall standings. We hinted at it a little bit. Noah's 3-0. Fortress is 2-1. You guys feeling pretty good right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go. You
yeah.
can go first, Noah.
I mean, I'm 3-0. It's hard to feel bad.
3-0 with the best differential. I think out of anybody in the league right now. Oh, you're
No,
tied with Scrafty and
the
I.
other Sun team,
Yeah.
has 17. I'm watching it every week. I will catch him. Um, but no, I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be where I'm at. I'm appreciative for the help I'm getting. I've got Fortress who runs preps with me. I've got a friend of mine, Shinxel. Uh, Pokemon in the name, gotta be addicted to it. But she's super good at like I'm bouncing EV spreads off of her. Just things that I'm missing in prep. She's been super helpful. Just a second set of eyes. Um, but no, I mean, I'm super happy. The biggest thing that I'm happy about is how bad the rest of my group looks compared to what I expected, honestly. I'm not gonna drag anybody's name through the
I
mud
mean,
by any means,
I'd argue
but
you played your three or four hardest matches already, and you're 3-0.
yeah, well, I think week one spent a lot of time figuring out how to get Sun up. Week two spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to beat Terragrass Heatran that didn't come. Week three spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to beat Priority Tailwind. This week doesn't have as much of a burden, I don't think, as far as like the challenge to overcome. I don't. Honestly, like the biggest like weird thing for me is like how bad Gamma Gate's team looks, and like how bad these games are going for him.
Yeah,
Because he's
I
won multiple times, right? Like he's
he
not bad.
he is a two-time winner of the whole league.
Well, his
I
team looks stinky.
I will also say I don't really like his draft. I think he's a little too all in on the Shedinja, and so it leaves him like really open to only having like I think he's Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Dracovish offense, which sure he has a Whimsicott to kind of enable that, but
I think he's getting a little too cute with the Whimsicott though. He's like trying to play like he's playing Trick Room, he's playing like Priority Tailwind. He did Priority, I think it's whichever the Spore move is that cuts their speed in half. I can't think of what it's called. Opposing team speed.
oh Cotton
Yeah, Cotton Bomb or Cotton
Cotton
something.
Cotton
Yeah,
whatever. I almost said Cotton Guard.
But
That's the one that buffs your
he
defense.
did that. He did that in a match too, and it's like I feel like he needs to put the fries in the bag and like Tailwind with his offensive Pokemon and just go, you know? And then like you have Shedinja, you bring it probably every week so that they have to have some horrible move on one of their Pokemon to deal with it. But I think he's getting too. I think he's beating himself. I guess I
Oh,
should
I
say.
would 100% agree with that.
Um,
This reminds me a lot of a draft he had a couple seasons ago where it was Smeargle, Clefairy, pick one, pick two. And it's like, great,
okay,
you have like support Pokemon, but you're like losing valuable things to play with them.
bro has a team full of Scotty Pippins. Like I don't know.
I wonder if the draft gimmick is like rewarding different skill sets. Because like if there's not a generation restriction, kind of what's good in VGC is good in VGC, and you kind of just kind of piggyback off certain things a little bit more. With this, like you're trying to figure out like oh, how do I make this like Rampardos useful or this Gudra useful, stuff like that, which is a different skill set than just battling.
Yeah. So have you guys been following the other conference at all? Johto with the gold and silver.
So I don't watch every game. I watch the teams that I hear are supposed to be good, and like generally, like I'll look at the standings for the week and like see which matches I should watch. I don't really pay attention to the teams at the bottom of the standings, which I think is a bad habit, but just like teams I'm less likely to face in playoffs, so I don't really need to do a deep dive on them or
I mean,
anything. But
I'm the commissioner of the league, and I don't watch every game. Like I get it.
yeah, it's there's some interesting stuff going on. Like I'm telling you, I've said it earlier in the night, but Coco Puff's team is just like not fair. The fact that he lost a match, like not even just like the fact
Did
that he
you
lost a
did you
match,
see
the
it?
fact that he's losing game. I did. I did. It
I
was
think
gross.
I think he got a little bit unlucky in that game with like double sleep powder hit max in game three, like the one that ultimately like lost him the set. He got like double sleep powder hit into max sleep turns on Flutter Main into like a Will-O-Wisp hitting on the Shedinja. Now,
Yeah.
should it have gotten to a point where like it's even winnable with that draft? I don't know. Like for winnable for his opponent into his draft, I don't know, but there was a fair bit of luck in that loss. Not that Koopa didn't do a good job playing to his outs, but like overall, that silver group is disgusting. Just like the amount of anybody can make playoffs in it with
Yeah, it's kind of
four
all
two
over the
ones,
place.
4 1 2s, like everybody's beating everybody, everybody's losing to everybody.
I am doing a lot more watching of the opposite group in our conference than I am the opposite conference.
Yeah,
Well,
same.
yeah, I mean some of that comes with you guys are helping each other prep, so
That is true. Yeah. The one team that I'm like interested in from Johto a lot is Nazumi's team because it's rain and perish, right? Like um it, it's very clear in what it wants to do. It's very unapologetic. It's just cool to see how he's making it work week to week.
right. So moving on. Anybody you guys have played so far stood out in any way to you guys? Like they were strong, weak, overhyped, underhyped.
The amount of preparation Noah does every week is crazy, just to like glaze him on call. But
That's not
it's like every time he goes into prep, it's just disgusting. Even when he's doing like making the scout teams for me, it's always just brutal having to play against what he preps for the opponent and like having to adjust to that. And it usually ends up being better than what the person actually brings. And then obviously, Scraftoni night in the group when we played week one, he just completely rocked my shit. It was so disgusting what
Dude,
he did to me.
he's coming back after like a 7 season hiatus. Like he played in season 2, had like a pretty decent season, and then just got like too busy with life, and now is finally back.
Like I lost to him, and I was like, dude, maybe my team just sucks. Like maybe I just like can never win a game.
Yeah, you were having a bit of an identity crisis after that first week.
Hey, you brought it back to back wins, getting
Yep.
getting the
hmm
streak going.
No,
One of them's a
I
forfeit, so it's not real, but you know, I'll take it still. Win's a
I
win.
am I'm in agreement with Fortress here. I think from like watching games, the way I try to watch games, and I'm sure everybody does this. Like I'm not saying that I'm special in any way, but I'm just like watching it, thinking about what I would do from turn to turn. Like what would I do in this situation? Okay, let's see what they did, so on and so forth. I think he makes a lot of plays that that's kind of what I would click, right? I mean, I'm also playing a Sun team, so that we're similar thought processes there. But he also has, and he is one of like 3 players who I've like, oh, I didn't even consider that play, and it's way better than what I said or what I was thinking, which is kind of scary, right? Because you're prepping against these guys, and if he's just out mind gaming me whenever I'm like even watching his games, that's really cool. So I'm excited to play against him if I get to. Like I said, Nazumi's team, I'm excited to play against. I wish I had Golden Go for that matchup, but Flutterman will have to do. Um, and then I don't want to play against Cocoa Puff's team.
You and me both, man. Mainly because I need someone to help me prep, and he's usually my go-to. Um, who do you guys think will make top 4 in your group playoffs? We've kind
You
of
go for it, Fortress.
talked about it a
Um,
bit. I can go back if you
yeah,
need to see your
yeah,
whole
yeah. Go
group.
back because I know.
Yeah.
So if in red, you know, there's kind of Julian Jump Plus will make playoffs no matter what. Almost positive. Um, New York Yankees, D1 Dittos, Major Penguins will not. And then there's just like the little 2-in-1 blob in the middle. Um, one of those guys is not going to make it. Um, I can't remember. One of them was 2-0, lost to the New York Yankees.
That was Buff Shaman,
Yes.
Sarian / Carito, whatever he wants to go by.
Like, I don't know if you remember that one Sven interview in LCS when he was talking about like scheduled wins and scheduled losses. Losing that Yankees game is kind of like losing a scheduled win, so it's like kind of difficult. And I would need to look more to see what other teams have already had their scheduled wins set up, but it's probably going to be. I think I actually make playoffs. It's me, Night Kale, and Saren, or no, Strict. Saren lost to
So
Yankees.
Carito would be the one out of your top 5 who doesn't make it. Sarian.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotta defend my boy J Money here a little bit. Um, he is primarily a singles player coming back after a pretty long break from Pokemon.
Real.
He is a Rand Battles ladder fiend. So this whole team building thing is a little new to him.
Yeah. And obviously no like flamed anyone here. Like I know I talked to Major a lot after our game, and he seems like a great guy. Very
Major really impressed me after helping him prep in week 1, and it's a shame that he's 0-3 because I feel like he's
Yeah.
had like really good ideas. It's just his draft kind of got away from him.
I know. On the next slide, there was an int set a little bit. The one thing that's the funniest thing that's happened to me so far was the swords dancing the Gliscor in front of my Porygon and it getting one shot by Ice Beam. That was so funny. I think about that all the time. That was so good.
Yeah, I think I was really like, I mean, I said it in the middle of draft night how insane Major's draft was. That he had Pelipper, Archaludon, like Arcanine, Amoonguss was like his first 4 or something along those lines. And I was like, this is disgusting. Like this is best in slot if you want to play a rain team almost. And then I do like you said, McPheeds, I really feel like it got away from him. I think I don't know what his prep was. Maybe you can speak to that a little bit more. But if he was prepping rain, I think that he didn't think past like, what do I do when I get my rain core? You know, because these are not at all outside of Amoonguss Arcanine, the support Pokemon that you want with a rain core, or like the pieces that you want to bring around your rain core. So it almost feels like that was a missed opportunity in his prep of like, okay, here's what I want, right? But what supports that?
So I'll tell you, he told me that he hasn't done anything with Pokemon before. This is like his first entry into anything Pokemon related.
That's
So
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
crazy for me to hear.
like the fact that he's doing this already with that little experience that he told me is very, very like impressive to me.
Yeah, I
So
agree actually.
I think he'll be really good by the end of the season, and then probably like a competitor next split.
So blue group, Noah. I feel like it's a little more cut and dry than red group.
I
Who do you think's
actually
top
don't
4?
think it is, right? Like, because I think top 2 is pretty cut. I mean, I'll probably drop a funny haha series here and there, and
Oh,
then
I've got my
um,
scheduled loss to Gamagate. Like it's
right,
coming.
right. We'll both be 5-1 playing for first seed on the
Yeah.
last week, right? And one of us will go in at 5-2. Um, but below that, I really think it opens up. I think so. Taylor Swift has two really strong wins, right? I think they played Gamagate and Water, was it?
I
Or who else did they play?
don't know if it was water. I know it was Gamagate. I play him this week.
Maybe it was Sharky. Maybe he played Sharky.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, and I don't have the
Okay,
actual
that's
schedule
fine.
pulled
But
up.
I thought that he was going to be a lot more difficult of an opponent than he ended up being. I don't think he necessarily played bad. He didn't have a lot of time to prep. I remember he told me that. But he brought, rather than bringing like priority rain dance into the Sun team, he brought Snowscape and tried to get a little creative with a Blizzard Swampert, which was ill-advised.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, ice types aren't real for your team, right?
Ice types aren't real. Yeah, he found that out, I think. But it's I think below us it really blows up, you know? I mean, Gamagate could get his shit together and solidly come in at third or maybe still second if one of us goofs around. Um Chong has a decent team, not great, but a decent team that can definitely get stuff done. I mean, he has Urshifu Rapid with fake out support, Landorus, and a priority tailwind. Like that's good enough, right? Like
Yeah.
that can definitely get you there. Um, I think that I don't think the Glacier team is bad. I don't think it's great. I think it has a very clear trick room mode. And it's a little bit lacking on the like traditional speed side. So if it doesn't get trick room up, it struggles, but definitely could sneak in, could just play against some teams ill-equipped to deal with trick room and then cruise in. Water, sneaks in at fourth every season from what I hear. So
He is
um
the team liquid, given his name's Water.
yeah, I think it is really all over the place below us. So if I was gonna pick who makes it in, I would probably say us two and then Gamagate and Water just off of name value. I can't,
So
you know,
if I had to
go
bet
ahead.
money, if I had to bet money on this,
Hmm.
uh I would put me, you, like coin flip first, second, like whoever wins the week 7 gets it. Um,
Hmm.
and then I would put Gamagate third and Derizen fourth. Because as much as
Okay.
Water's gonna kill me if you're saying this, but as much as he's like a good friend of mine, he has been slacking on his prep this season.
What was it that he said? He just thought he was gonna try to be good at Pokemon and that was gonna be enough.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so prepping against him with Fortress, I was losing a lot of our matches. Uh, there was a very scary Scarful Nihilego that did not come to the
Oh,
match that
he
we
brought
ended
it
up
to
playing.
my week with hard trick room for the rest of his Pokemon.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know.
And to put it in context too, Noah washes me every single like prep block, no matter what, both sides of the matchup. This and one other series is the only time that I'm winning most of them.
I
Yeah.
I will say I do think every single 1 and 2 team can make playoffs in this group, but I would put Big Tony or Gamagate, whatever you want to call him, over the others.
Yeah, I think that I think that Gamagate, I just am not so confident on Derizen making it in because I think he has strong Pokemon. Urshifu is gross and obnoxious to prep for. Why am I putting Protect on any Pokemon ever?
He's got
Um
Urshifu priority Tailwind, like that just wins games.
yeah, it does. I spent all of my prep trying to figure out how to beat Tornadus Tailwind into Terra Dark Wicked Blow all of my Pokemon. Terra Dark Choice Band
Same
Wicked
thing
Blow.
this week.
Yeah, well, he didn't click it against me, so maybe that's what I'm saying. It's like he didn't click it. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do into that.
Yeah,
Like you
it
you're
is a
gonna have to
it is a
fake it out,
scary
and
team.
it's very scary, very scary. So that's my biggest concern is like he's got all these tools, but is he gonna be able to put them together in the right orientation? Because I mean, Tornadus, Urshifu, Goldingo, Clefairy, he could probably have just those 4 Pokemon on his team and make playoffs. That is a
Oh, absolutely.
incredibly strong core. I just don't know that he's using them to their full potential, and that might let a player like Water sneak in where they otherwise wouldn't.
I mean, I also think Water's draft is pretty strong. Like he's got like a pretty solid bulky offense with the Heatran and the Ogerpon Wellspring, and then he can
Yeah,
play a faster mode with Nihilego Dragapult, and then like Murkrow support. I don't know what else he
I
has
think
off the top of my head, but
I
like
think his
the
Trick Room mode is pretty fake.
100% agreed.
Yeah, it's pretty like I'm definitely gonna do it, and he's not gonna do it.
Well, he did it into
Um,
me. It
well, I mean,
it
how'd that
didn't
go for
it
him?
didn't exactly pan out. Breloom clutched up and missed a bullet seed when I needed it to.
He needs to bring Murkrow more. He didn't even like bring Murkrow to either of our games. It's like another thing where I was like, how do I beat Priority Tail? Like people who have Priority Tail, if there's one message that I can get out for this podcast, if you have Priority Tailwind, click it.
And if you don't have Priority Tailwind, it's week 4, and Illumais and Volbeat are still available to be drafted.
And Cottony. And Cottony.
But you better do it fast in the next like 2 minutes.
That is true. Yeah. You don't have much time. You need to contest Fortress's pick right now.
I have the
Yeah.
message written right now. I'm trying to decide if it's worth saying it. Like, I need to decide.
All right, so going back to these, we kind of talked about other people's stuff a lot with like how they're doing, but have there been any like specific plays or sets that have really stuck out to you? I know we mentioned,
North Stand's Glyce score.
and Blizzard Swampert.
Blizzard Swampert was not. I'm frowning at Blizzard Swampert. There was a very funny, not necessarily an int set. I don't even know what item it was. I could just Google this. But whatever item protects you from sandstorm,
Safety goggles.
put safety
Yeah.
goggles, put on a Shedinja from Gamma Gate, and the only thing that his opponent brought was a sandstorm sack attack. I think it was against Taylor Swift.
That's funny.
Um, it was really funny, and it was really funny because he had just lost to Sandstorm on Ogrefon Wellspring the week before. So it felt very much like he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna sandstorm me? Well, how do you like this?" Like, it's just very linear
I
thinking there.
I personally am still giggling at getting away with bringing Scarf Taunt Prankster Thunderous in week 1 to outspeed Gale Wings Talonflame. Like it started as a meme in prep, like, oh, it's the only way you can taunt it is to Scarf the Thunderous, and I was like, wait, you're actually right.
Gross.
As far as like int stuff, I am going to kill both Chien Pao players in this league,
Oh.
Sage and Strict. You guys are clicking protect way too much and throwing your own games. Like I'm watching a focus sash Chien Pao that's faster than everything on the field click protect, and its partner
Yeah.
just dies. Like
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
the thing hits like a truck, just kill. Also, stop running sucker punch when you're faster than everything. Run throat chop. Then you don't have to predict.
Totally reasonable.
It's been
Yeah,
it's been driving me insane. It like you could turn nameplates off and both Chien Pao, like all Chien Pao games, you could tell me they were played by the same person because they're both doing the same thing.
I really do like Strix's team. I think that it's got a lot going for it. I think he's
I think both their teams are really good. Like I think I'd favor Strix over Sages, but they're both really solid hyper offense, Sword of Ruin.
it almost feels
DS.
like he got a little offended that all his team does is click Terra Normal Extreme Speed on Dragonite, and he's like afraid to do it now.
I mean,
Um,
I watched a game where Terra Normal banded D Knight just a one-shot stuff from full.
yeah, I watched the same game, I'm pretty sure, and then he just doesn't do it anymore. So I don't know if he like I can do more than this. And like he's just out. Same thing with Gamma Gate, right? Where he's outsmarting himself. I don't know. That's like whenever it comes down to brass tacks, the first thing I ask myself every week is how much does Terra Fairy Choice Specs Max Attack Modest Flutter Main Dazzling Gleam do? And if it's all of their HP, that's what I'm gonna click all week, you know?
Yeah. All right, so moving on to wrapping up, we kind of already talked about how you guys think you're gonna do for the rest of the season. But do you want to give a stab at predicting your exact record?
I think I'm 4-3.
4-3. So
Yeah.
solidly in playoffs. Like you're
Yeah, I think
locked. No
so.
tie breaks needed.
Maybe, I mean, there could be a tiebreak at 4 with this big slob of things.
There can, but it's less common with 4-3.
Yeah.
That's more between like third and fourth seed than
Yeah.
fourth and fifth seed.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I think 4-3 with kill differential pretty close to like 0.
Oh,
Think
if you're
about
if you're
equal.
getting that right, that's crazy. Like I was just
I'm
settling for 4-3.
I'm gonna go 6-1. I'm only gonna drop the two games from the match that I lose will be the only ones that I drop all season.
Ooh.
And it will be because I bring Gravity Landris and Hypnosis
Yeah, and Banded Thwacky.
Ninetales. And Bandit Thwacky, of course.
So since you guys are new to the league, every season at the end of the league, usually right when playoffs start, I'll put up a poll that is a format vote for next season. Well, I already have some ideas for what's going to go onto the poll. I just kind of wanted to get like a new person's perspective because we've tossed around a lot of ideas in the past, and basically everything I'm planning on adding is stuff that we've either already played or already voted on previously. So I just kind of want to use you guys, see if you have any cool ideas. And you can get as crazy with it as you want. Like I'll tell you about the stupidest format that's going to be on the poll after you guys give me your spiels.
I mean, I want to play with restricted Pokemon. You know, that's kind of what it is. Like let's amp it up. Let's go
Did
crazy.
did you
I don't
see
know how
the
you do it.
did you see the template idea for it?
I did see that. There were a few things that I didn't agree with
Oh,
on it,
I don't
but
think the rankings are locked in. Like, this
right,
Pokemon
okay.
is up here. It was just the idea of, if you draft a top tier restricted like Calyrex Shadow, it's gonna use like half to like three-quarters of your points. You can only get one of them, and you can't Terra anything. Versus if you're
Yeah.
taking like, Palkia Origin form, you can get a second restricted, and you can have two Terra Captains.
I will say the one thing I don't like is Terra Captains seem weird. I feel like it's either like and maybe that's just because I haven't played a format with that, but I don't like the inflexibility of no Terras. I think if you're gonna like limit Terras, I would almost prefer that they were gone entirely. Um, because it just creates like a 50-50, right? Is kind of how I think about it in the game, right? You know, playing in our current format where every Pokemon can Terra, there's a lot more mind games of like, well, he probably won't Terra this because he needs to Terra that and this and this and that. But in a Terra Captains format, and I think you just said two Terra Captains, which might be a little different. But if you have one Terra Captain, it's like, okay, well, I have one move that's super effective if it does Terra, and then one move that's super effective if it doesn't. Let's play the 50-50 game of like, what's he gonna press in front of me? And I don't really feel like that's too fun and engaging, but maybe I'm alone in that.
So I've got a slight history lesson. We did
Okay.
fully open Terra for the first 4 seasons. And then somebody got a draft with Chi-Yu, Landorus, and Spectrier with full open Terra, and the people were not happy about it. And then I won season 3 with an undefeated season because it was kind of a bullshit draft. So we pivoted off full open Terra because it was just annoying to prep for. You like basically spent the entire game one scouting out a Pokemon's Terra, and then they didn't even need to click it the second game. Um, Especially when you have like a really diversified draft. So we moved towards no Terra for a little bit. Then people wanted Terra back, so we settled on Terra Captains, which originally was point based. So if you wanted to Terra like a strong Pokemon, like let's say you drafted Dragapult, you wanted to Terra it, your other Terra Captain was going to be like a 2 point Pokemon. So it was a way to kind of like another way to favor you lever to pull to favor using more like middle low tier Pokemon by giving them Terra. And it made some interesting stuff. Like freaking Galissapod, man. That thing was a nightmare. And that Pokemon has no right to be a nightmare.
Yeah,
But
I think
I
that's interesting to hear about, but I think that you guys really kind of hit the nail on the head with this season. Like Open Terra
yeah,
feels like the best of both worlds.
I think moving to Terra Sheets makes it a lot more
Yeah,
manageable, or Terra
that's
Preview,
what I mean.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because when we were doing it previously, that functionality wasn't in Showdown, so it was just no Terra Preview at all, and it was problematic.
Yeah, that
Dude, fuck it.
sounds.
Let's just go open team sheets, bro. Like, why can't I know
I
that
no
I'm
no
playing
no
against
no.
Blizzard Swampert this
I
week?
will I will never over my cold dead body will open team sheets be allowed in this league. If we do like a tournament format rather than a draft format where you can bring anything, sure, open team sheets. But like, there's no fun in knowing the spice is coming that you have to worry about Thunder Gyarados. Like,
Well, there is fun.
Um,
There's terror in the I brought nothing for Thunder Gyarados. Like, how do I
it,
like what what am I looking at,
fair,
you know?
fair
Like
enough.
the people don't even know that you're imagine you never had to bring your scarf prankster taunt Thunderous, and he would have never known. But if he saw it there, he would be like, "What in the absolute hell Christ is that?"
I mean, I
Like,
still don't think people know, aside from the fact I've been like shouting it from the rooftops because it's hilarious to me.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He still doesn't know. He's confused as to how it happened, and and this would solve that.
no, I think he told me he was like bulky Talonflame, so I would have just been faster regardless, even with the heat
Oh,
scarf.
well.
Yeah. Do you have any format ideas, Fortress?
I don't think this is like spicy, and you guys might have already done it before. But back in the day, I would just sit on Showdown all the time, playing in monotype tournaments using
So
like their tournament functionality, and I fucking love it. It's so fucking fun.
I loved monotype during like the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon era. Big electric fan, and when Tapu Koko was legal, oh boy. Um, it's just I can't figure out how you would do a monotype draft format.
That's fair, yeah. I didn't think about that much.
The only thing I can think of is instead of drafting Pokemon, you draft like 2 or 3 types, and then you can free team build
Yeah,
each week from those types. But I feel like at that point, it's just not draft. It'd be like
it's
a
not even a draft league at that point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd make a good like in between seasons tournament event kind of thing, like especially towards the end
Mhm.
of the year, because once we get towards the holidays, we won't run a season because travel,
Yeah.
and usually we'll do some side events like that. Like we did a Gen
Oh,
3 OU tournament, we did a Gen
yep.
6 OU tournament, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
dude, let's just play Gen 5. OU. I want to have
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
again.
You want your title?
I won't, dude. I'll bring it back, dude. Back to my old days.
So
Oh,
the
speaking of which, I want Mega Evolution back too. Let's play a Mega Evolution
we
draft league.
did just come off of one.
Oh Jesus Christ, I missed it. God
Yeah,
damn it.
we did. There's a format that we've run twice now that we call Build a Dex, where the pool of Pokemon works like an MTG cube, where when you sign up, you can submit any like a certain number of Pokemon to add to the pool,
Mhm.
and that's what the pool is. It's all submitted
Oh,
by other
interesting.
people.
Yeah,
And there's obviously stuff on the ban list, like I think Fluttermane's not allowed.
yeah.
Stuff like Mega Ments isn't allowed, etc.
I can't think of
etc.
any reason.
Yeah. Shout out to the OG Build a Deck season where some psychopath decided to let Mega Metagross through. It was not okay. Um, my personal favorite like cook format idea I've ever come up with, and I don't think we're ever gonna run it, just because it's so much of a like burden of knowledge, is lovingly referred to as Chaos Draft, where in addition to drafting your 10 to 12 Pokemon, you're drafting 3 moves and 3 abilities, and then each week you can cheat 1 Pokemon on the 6 that you bring. You can like plug it into your Game Shark and give it one of your abilities or give it one of your moves that you've drafted.
Yeah, I picked prankster. I win.
There
Like,
will obviously be a ban
Yeah, like
list,
no
but
huge power.
okay, okay. I was
no
gonna
Wonder
say.
Guard, no huge power, probably no Prankster, because I don't want to have to deal with Prankster Among Us, dear lord. But I watched a YouTube video where somebody did a legitimate draft league with this on Pokemon Battle Revolution, like the old Wii game. And some of the sets were hilarious, man. You had like a normalize explosion slaking. You had Darkrai with plus and Azelf with minus. Like it was really funny.
Yeah,
Hold
just give me no guard fucking
No guard fissure.
yeah, no guard Fisher and no guard sheer cold.
Gold, yeah.
Now, hold up, wait. I just had the idea of what if it was like a sort of a Nuzlocke draft league? You draft like 30 Pokemon.
And
It
then
goes down.
if they die in a week, you can't use them.
You can't use it ever. It's gone for the rest
That's
of the season.
that is crazy.
That is crazy. I feel like if you did that because of like you're playing what 21 games in the regular season at max, I feel like you'd have to give them like lives. Like your Flutterman has 5
Yeah,
lives
yeah.
to start the season.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, I forgot it was best of 3 for some reason, but
Dude, just
I
make
don't
it
know.
double round robin best of 1. Then you're good.
Or hear me out, hear me out. It's like a softer Nuzlocke. When you lose, the opponent gets to take one of the Pokemon you brought out back and shoot it.
Huh?
Wait. No, I actually think he's cooking. What if you don't have like instead of doing like schedule, uh, where you play against people in your group, you do a round robin, and it's just last person to have Pokemon
Left
standing.
wins.
King
Yeah.
of the hill.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny. I might have to cook something with that. So we did do a couple Nuzlocke events over the years. We did one that was a cage lock of fully randomized Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Dude,
Um,
no. When are we soul locking? Let's hit up.
Oh,
it
dude.
it kind of spiraled out of control when people just got too busy. But the one that
Mhm.
was like really fun that everybody got into was we did a black 2 white 2 draft race
Oh
where
Jesus
you
Christ.
drafted your 30 encounters before the game even started. You got a
Mhm.
box with all of them at level 1, and then it was the first person to finish the game with the lowest in-game time, just following
Mhm.
regular Nuzlocke rules. And then least deaths was the first tiebreaker. Time was the
Yeah.
second. It was
Mhm.
really fun. Karito and I like hand shook the trophy because we both cleared the champion with 0 deaths. But there were some pretty hype moments. I think Batman streamed the whole thing on his Twitch and had like some insane clutches. It was a fun time.
Dude, I'll be so down. I love Nuzlocks.
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say one quick thing before we go to talk about something on the last slide I forgot about, the grief sets. Who brought a Z move?
Oh,
I didn't see that game.
it was whoever Thunder played in week 1. It might have been Nezumi. It was Nezumi or Strawberry Frog. It was one of the two. Are they both in
That's
that group?
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was either Nezumi or Strawberry Frog. Just, jump scare Z move in the middle of the match. And in their defense, the rules didn't say you couldn't. Like they did at one point, but then I removed it to make them more generic in case we did a season where Z moves were legal, so I wouldn't have to keep editing them, and it was kind of just a, no-brainer thing, but now it's been added to be handled. Um for the first Build-A-Deck season, somebody submitted Eevee, and to make it viable, it was the only Pokemon that was allowed to Z move.
That's pretty sick.
All right, so closing us out, I have the most important question of all, and I've taken a gander based on team logos. But what is your favorite Pokemon?
You'd be wrong. It's just Fortress because it's very funny to me. And I was talking about it with some friends in Discord, and they were like, "Hey, what if we made the logo just like a fortress and a little hat on a spear on a fortress door?" And I
It,
was like, "Oh,
it's a
this is
goated
great."
logo.
It was so good. But it's Absol. I
Absol.
remember I remember playing my fucking Pokemon Sapphire. You can only find it in that one route by Fortress City, and it's like I swear it was like 10% encounter rate. And I just remember just going through and trying to find it every single time. And I also like Trompius a lot too. So they both show up in that same route with like low percentage chance of actually coming. So I would just walk in those tall grass all the time trying to find it.
So was Mega Absol an upgrade or a
I,
downgrade for you?
I, I don't know. It's not as cool. It's kind of funny. I've used it every time. Whatever tier it was viable, I just played what tier I could play Mega Absol in that gen. I think
Nice.
it was UU that gen.
Yeah, I think it was UU and no res because
Yeah.
magic bounce.
Yeah. And then regular Absol was NU, so I just switched between playing those two tiers and would just play around those two.
Nice. Is your favorite Pokemon actually Clodsire, Noah, or is it just
It's not.
another?
It's actually my ex-girlfriend's favorite Pokemon.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yes, that's tough, right? But my favorite Pokemon is Dialga. I started playing in Pokemon Diamond. I loved it. I mean, it my friends played Pokemon and like they told me how good it was. I wasn't really into that. Like I was a kid who played like Halo. I played like Call of Duty. I was a degenerate. But I got a DS. First game I got was Pokemon, and it's really just captivated me ever since. And the box art for Pokemon Diamond is super nostalgic to me. Dialga is a super nostalgic Pokemon. Not a Dialga Origin Form fan.
Oh, you don't like the
Um,
the horse where it loses its
no, I
arms?
really don't
Oh,
like the horse. Um, but I was pretty big on Giratina as well because I immediately after playing Diamond, I played Platinum, and I didn't really understand the concept of like sequel games at the time. or like, games that were this. So I was like, what the fuck? I'm playing the same game. Like, what am I doing? Or at least I'm in this. I thought I was at the time until the in-game stuff, but I don't know. The Gen 4 is super nostalgic to me. Really like Dialga a lot. Very cool. I wish it was better. Um, wish it was a better restricted Pokemon because I would play it all the time.
Yeah, so I'm even more boomer. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Gold that I got on a garage sale for my Game Boy Color.
Yo,
Um,
nice.
and Ampharos, just favorite Pokemon as a kid, favorite Pokemon now, and Mega Ampharos made it so much better. So it's yeah, not surprising to anybody who knows me. I've got my little Ampharos plush on my desk, whole shebang. Well, thank you guys both for doing this. I think we had some pretty interesting perspectives. Best of luck to both of you on the rest of the season. Anything you want to say before I close it out?
No,
No,
just
thank
thank you
you.
for putting this on. This has been a great time and look forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, I had a blast. Thank you.
No problem. All right, see you guys.
See ya.